Hello guys, I wanted to review this pro game. In here they went for a really interesting pick. Uh, Let me turn on my epic pen as well, right? So they went for a really interesting pick. Mundo AD carry, right? And Senna is the support. They are doing the fasting strat, I do suppose.
Each team composition has, there's not a lot of playmaking on Golden Guardian.
So in here they are all in a Seraphine. I started recording because so far nothing really goes on, everybody just CS pokes, it's 0-0. And Seraphine gets caught off guard, right? And because she is alone, right? So she was alone and Mundo can't be CC'd because of his passive, right? Also, I do believe his choice of rune was bad. He went for heal. We can see he used heal right now. I do believe exhaust or ghost would be way better to run down Seraphine, right? Because in here we can see he went for heal, and heal is not all that much valuable because your champion already heals a lot, same as Senna does. So from my personal opinion, a combat summoner spell would be better, such as exhaust, ignite, or ghost, than heal, right? Okay. And in here we can see Mundo commits with his ultimate, right? He Qs.
Which maybe
doesn't reset his auto, but it's fine.
They do get his flash, but under the turret now.
And we kill him, and they got also the flash.
To try to get something, but that's first blood for Golden Guardians. All on the top side though. Licorice getting targeted by
here.
And Speed is here as well though. Pride
no.
even throws out the ultimate to try to get something, but that's first blood for Golden Guardians. All on the top side though. Licorice getting a target.
I think Fiora rushed the parry, no? Because Gnar wasn't Wing, and I do believe we can reactively W a Gnar W. And also Volibear wasn't in Q range, so I think that W was a bit preemptive, right? So we can see Gnar jumps in. There is no Gnar W, right? So I do believe you can reactively W as Fiora a Gnar W, right? And Volibear wasn't in Q range yet, right? So in here, his parry was a bit early. I do believe he could time it to the Volibear skill. Because now it's a bit awkward, right? Like I think he could time it to the Volibear QE, right? Because I think he panicked. I'm not sure actually. But the thing is, Gnar initiated with ult, not with W. So he still, I think holding into parry would be a bit better, right?
Is followed by Mia too, so even on that has to return to the opposite side, can't join the rest of the team, but that's 3 kills.
I do believe that was just a panic parry.
Absolutely, and Licorice bought so much time for Pride.
Oh, why is Mundo not
Stalker and Stick say Senna ultimate to arrive. He procced all 4
he wants a bit more CS or what?
So
he got 70 CS, not even bad against double range.
And before that play, I think just a big mistake by Tactical, dying while being isolated in that lane to give Golden Guardians a slight edge so far.
A bit of the reaction there too, using some resources, the flash and the ultimate, so that will be on cooldown for some time here. But the Herald is here for Golden Guardians to pick up. This is known information to TSM, and they have multiple within the vicinity, but no real reason that they see to contest this at the present time, being everything that just went down prior.
Definitely a good start for Golden Guardians. This is more reminiscent of the way they jumped out to an early lead in many of their spring split games.
Mundo keeps staying on bot lane, his CS's, but he got his first item, he resetted.
Was rotating straight.
So he got his Frostfire Gauntlet now. Is Frostfire Gauntlet correct? We already have lots of slows in our team, right? And not going Sunfire means you have less fighting power against these champions, but you can be more sticky to these ones, right? So Sunfire is generally better against their front line, right? Because realistically in a team fight you won't get to go on the back line of the enemy team because they got a really good disengage, they got a lot of CC. So I do believe it would be way better to go Sunfire because, as I said, it provides more frontline DPS value and more tankiness than Frostfire itself. But Frostfire is definitely good against these champions. The question is it worth? Because Mundo's Q already slows, Senna Q already slows, and they usually gonna play together. Senna's W roots, so you got a layer that's slow, but it's, I don't know. Like I feel like in laning phase early on, it's when the laning phase still goes on, it can be fine, but I do believe it's just bad after like mid-late game, right? Because like there is like an immense like DPS difference. Okay.
They got the by Yasuo. Goodbye.
The transition was too smooth.
Well, I thought they were just going to show the long-range Senna cannon that nearly cut.
Also they got a Yasuo in the enemy team, but the only knock-up they have is Gnar's ultimate, right? Now I know for some reason people may gonna argue, but Yasuo gonna ult the enemy Mundo, right? But the thing is, Mundo is not really a priority target for Yasuo, even if it deals like 50% bonus pen, right? Armor pen. And also it's really hard to like the only knock-up they have is specifically Mega Gnar if he has his Mega form, right? And also like Mega Gnar's ult can be countered by his passive, which means he doesn't get to get knocked up. And they have some other form of knock-ups, right? Such as his own Q, but here's the thing, they can proc it, right? So there are some champions that can proc the Mundo's passive, but if he's positioning well, it's difficult to get it off. Also can pick it up over and over, so I don't feel like it's I don't feel like it's a good idea to go Frostfire over Sunfire from my personal opinion. Like you gotta be in the front line, you gotta pack up more damage in general than also Corki picked up a package without any objective being up, so more than often you need to time your package to the objective, otherwise people will play defensively for 1 minute. So usually what you want to do with your packages, Corki, if you can get a dive angle on top lane, let's say you have a Tryndamere top and you can dive the enemy top laner really smooth, or a Volibear top, that can be totally fine to pick it up, right? But like when you pick up the package, you should be willing to understand that we're gonna collapse on someone, right? We're gonna collapse on someone in general, perhaps with the jungler or without it, but you gotta make it sure that you actually gonna get value out of the package, right?
Trading over your top, Licorice going low, flashes forward, the grand challenge has been activated, but a flash away from Huni. Speak of
the Senna ult. The Senna ult is just clean, right? Extremely well played from Senna's part, 100%. 100%.
Licorice goes for it. Wouldn't have had the solo kill for himself, but they have the global presence of the Senna, and then very fancy feat at the end to not only get Speaker's flash and ult, but not give him anything in return.
And following immediately after that Licorice Fiora Pog moment, a Blaze Olive getting the attention of the Rift Herald in mid, able to knock off a few of those plates, so extending those advantages. Stixay, a veteran player, always using that map awareness to have an impact.
Definitely needing to watch that, but lands the slow and the attack.
So Fiora commits, Gnar has no Mega form. Yeah.
Needs to flash, able to proc that final vital.
Ooh, Gnar flashed away. Yeah. And I guess Fiora just... Oh, that was extremely well played from Fiora's side. He moved backwards. He predicted the Volibear finisher. Extremely well played from Fiora's side. Okay, so I feel like the GG team in here is scaling a bit better. They have two champions that don't scale so insanely because they are going for their bruiser builds. Then again, yeah, so does scale, they scale into more defensiveness. Seraphine definitely scales into DPS. She's gonna have a lot of damage. But I feel like in the long run, probably this team gonna win just because of the team comp difference, from my personal opinion. Because for me, it looks like they have a better comp. Because I feel like Gnar is bad. Like the only source we have for knockups is Gnar, and here's the thing: it's specific to his Mega Gnar, right? Which means we may or may not have it. And the issue with that is that you need more knockups, you need a Diana, you need something more reliable, because here's the thing, Fiora is on top lane, right? And more than often Fiora likes to side lane, which means Gnar has to match him, right? And Gnar is the only knockup champion, that's the issue, right? So if he's side laning a lot, it's harder to get early kills with Yasuo's ult and someone's knockup, because he's the only one that can knockup. So I feel like the drafting is a bit bad in instead of like Seraphine, something we need more knockups, like the jungler should take a knockup champion, something. But I feel like we are really short on knockups on the Yasuo team, because more than often if they get Yasuo, if they draft Yasuo in a comp, they either get it to counter a Misfortune ultimate or something, But also, like, usually if Yasuo is picked, they're gonna get multiple knock-up champions. I seen like a team comp where they got legit like 3 or 4 knock-up champs, right?
Healing reduction in Chant Dragon before his mythic.
Yeah, now carrying
Okay,
over
Seraphine
on
brought
the
Leandri.
Zen side, Golden Guardians
It's
bot
definitely
lane waiting
correct
for
in
it
here.
to move together as a unit, but still quite a bit of time until those next global objectives.
Uh, let's talk about this early game Oblivion Orb 25% heal cut. Now, Chem Tank is really good against Mundo, but now recently it got nerfed, and also the the smaller component doesn't feels to be all that good because it just doesn't cut enough healing from Senna and Mundo. Also in lane it kinda sucks. Like on enhancers, Oblivion Orb is bad because here's the thing, say you're gonna like Q as Karma the enemy Mundo or Senna, they can bait until it drops, then Senna can use her Q to heal up. So in lane it just feels awkward to have Oblivion Orb. It doesn't provide all that much, even in all-ins it doesn't provide all that much. But Chem Tank will be significantly better. Chem Tank is definitely I'm not sure how to feel about rushing it because we need Shurelia to disengage, no? Um, I'm not sure how to feel about rushing it or Moonstone or Shurelia, but I think in the early game people don't heal all that much and like they have lots of healing, it's true, but I don't know how to feel about rushing it honestly. Because I feel like Shurelia it can be more valuable in the sense that most of the healing champions are melee, which means if our team can space out with more mobility, then oh, but we play 3 melee. I feel like it's just bad, honestly. Because now it just feels bad to build Oblivion Orb.
Yeah, and this is the complexion that many of the games have taken
Like
so far.
50% of the healing is just a lot, you know? That's how I feel like. Like in lane it won't provide enough, I feel like. But like, I guess if he gets Chem Tank, it's gonna be more valuable. I do believe it's mostly for... Like I feel like Chem Tank will be good for objectives, right? Secure objectives in general, but I don't feel like it's all that great, you know? Okay. Because I do believe the enemy team, like, they have so many healing champions partially because, like, anti-heal got nerfed, which is a really good thing for healing champs, right?
Yeah, I don't think this game has quite the ticking time bomb that Twitch Yumi is, but I would say the Corki has tremendous late game scaling. Fiora has very good 1v1 late game scaling, but I've still kind of yet to see in LCS this kind of late game Fiora taking over. Inevitably with Dragon Soul and Elder Dragon and Barons, the Fiora has to group, and I think it's going to be relatively difficult for Licorice to team fight well later on in this game. So I'll be very interested to see how the late game team fights do end up playing out in this one.
Especially when you look at the way a lot of these ultimates work, if you're finding a lot of jungle fights, Seraphine, for instance, very much likes to just collide between that territory to really funnel Golden Guardians where they want to go. Right now, though,
we got a fight.
TSM is on the Rift Herald, and Golden Guardians decide not to go for it. So that's a trade. The first Rift Herald, Golden Guardians were able to drop mid. Now TSM picking it up. Spica's got it in his pocket.
Yeah, I really do.
So Licorice getting shit done on bot lane.
For them though, because they're giving basically a free turret to Licorice down bottom. All Second Herald does is helps you break a turret. So they give up a wave and a turret in order to pick up the Herald. Doesn't seem...
Yeah, it's 100% true. Like it's a trade of towers, right? Like more than often you're gonna get only one tower off, with the exception if you guys gonna win a team fight and maybe you can break multiple towers. But in pro play it doesn't really happens all that often, which means that it's just a trade of towers. Most likely it's just a trade of towers. So it's kind of niche. So they are doing great. Let's see if they manage to contest or they care. They probably don't care about this since they don't have enough vision around and they could be caught in anything, so they don't force it, they don't risk it, they don't have to. Okay, so Cork is going for standard build, he's going Muramana into Liandry. Okay. So Oliver finished his divine. Okay, so like the Mundo pick got 1 kill so far. Mundo brought Bramble West, that's totally fine. I seen on the Reddit post that he rushed Tormail second. The issue with Tormail second is that Mundo can't proc the 40% anti-heal from it, which means you always gonna get constantly 25% of it because you don't have CC on Mundo, right? You don't have any type of CC, so what else can we go for? Uh, Force of Nature is not necessarily bad. They got some level of AP damage. Volibear's passive, Volibear's E, his W, right? Force of Nature is an option. Randuin's is an option. 3 AD champions, all of them are melee, which means they can be likely caught in the Randuin's activatable. That's totally fine, because Yasuo is one of the air win conditions, so we can get Randuins from my opinion. That's totally fine. Also, I don't feel like stacking these two, it's okay, because most of the time Mundo and Senna will play together, which generally means that you don't want to like both of you guys don't want to buy at the same time anti-heal, right? Because most likely one way or the other it's gonna be applied. In fact, against the bot laners themselves, it's not good to buy Bramble West because they're not gonna auto-attack you. And also if Seraphine ever W heals, she's gonna wait until the Bramble West drops, but more than often they won't auto-attack you, so it's something you can maybe get later on, but if you already have like anti-healing from one source, then and also she's long range, right? Which means she can also apply it to multiple people, so I don't feel like it's ever beneficial for you to get such an early Bramble West on Mundo. Okay. So Senna, I don't know how to feel about Senna's item. Like, it's definitely good to D-Ward. She got an insanely high D-Ward score, right? But interestingly enough, Karma got almost the same score without having the item, right? I don't feel like it's really the best idea to go for this build because it's definitely not a bad item on Senna. It's a really good cheap item, but I feel like in pro play it's not that good, even though people are warping a lot, because the reason for that is I feel like she's gonna lack like lots of damage by delaying her mythic spike, such as Kraken or Eclipse. This game Kraken is really good. Gale Force is really good as well. There are definitely options you can go for, but I feel like rushing this item, I don't know how to feel about it honestly, because it just cuts so much damage. It's good to snowball and get early kills with, but in pro play it's hardly gonna happen that you're gonna snowball by buying an early spike Umbral Glaive, right?
That they don't give over those isolated deaths. Very mirrored in their movement as a result, where even if there are opportunities for them to take skirmishes...
Ooh, they're face checking. God, I don't like how Sinzao didn't W this bush or Senna didn't W it, right?
Sure to back away from them. We get a little bit of contact here.
So Mundo commits level 7 Karma because she perma roamed, right? 10 our Senna is level 10 and our Mundo is level 14. So they are generally ahead with CS and with levels, right? Oh, it's 11. Why does it show it's 4? Oh. Oh, I didn't see it correctly. Okay, what the hell. So at least we got her flash out. Yeah, I feel like the anti-heal item was bad, because others are gonna build anti-heal as well. The problem with the anti-heal, it provides 25% anti-heal, sure, but it's the problem is you delay your Shorelia, which means a lot, because you want to disengage from all of these champions, right? Also mobility is good against Corki to dodge his missiles, right? Same as Mundo kills, so like I'm not sure how worth it is.
In this case, it's Seraphine, Karma, Volibear. They can't ever kill him with just those three. They need to have Yasuo or Gnar.
Okay, so Huni is not really trying to commit. He could just simply also just ult her into the wall in here, because it's an instant ability, which means that well, why did he initiate with W though? Because I do believe it's highly reactable for Fiora to W that, right? Probably in here he could ban ult her into the wall. It's really hard to react to it, because you need to get your ult off before you turn in Mini Gnar. Because until you turn back into Mega Gnar, it's most likely gonna be up, right? But I guess he didn't want it to risk, so I guess it's totally fine as well. So Gnar gets some chip damage.
ready. The Bramble Vest to also try and punish some of the healing on the opposite side. So with this build getting more and more online, becoming that much more durable, everyone's favorite word.
Yeah, I was legit actually thinking of getting Leandri over Ludens on Corki, and he actually did buy it. I was like low-key thinking that Leandri actually might be better because of the durability patch. Also they're gonna build Demar, so going Magic Pen, I think it will suck at some point, so it's... but I'm not sure if it's worth, like... They don't have any MR yet, right? But they are stacking a lot of HP. It might be worth, right? Might be worth. So on every rocket you can always re-trigger the Leandri, and your E also like perma triggers the Leandri, I do suppose. So there is value in it, right? And a lot of them gonna have higher HP than Corki, which means he gonna get the bonus damage. We'll see. Like you don't have the mobility, you don't have the burst, but the DPS I do suppose should be higher.
Right now they're warming up. They're doing like 50-meter sprints. I don't actually know the breaking.
Also it's about his W as well, right? His package and his normal W, which also gonna permanently reapply Leandri. So I feel like this game specifically Leandri might be better. I feel like it might be better. Do I click that? Maybe. Okay, let's get back in here.
17 seconds, and because like Golden Guardians gets first access to mid-wave because they have Mundo who can't necessarily be killed, and then because they have mid-prowl, they're able to get those sideways pushed in so frequently.
So we are back in here. I thought it will be some random type of Discord link, you know, because he had like a bot name. Okay. So yet the game goes on, Mundo is terrorizing a bit. He has an interesting choice of going for Unsealed Spellbook. The alternatives are Lethal Tempo or Conqueror. Both of them are great. Lethal Tempo is specifically good when he ults and when he gets lower HP for more DPS, and also it works really well with Sunfire because you're gonna get more procs of Sunfire. Then the range is not necessarily bad, you know.
22 minutes, so...
But I don't know how to feel about Spellbook actually. Like, what does it provide? It gives you an exhaust, which is good against like Yasuo and Volibear's all in, I guess. But Gnar's all in against the Squishy, right? But I feel like Conqueror is probably better, no? Like.
In spring, you'd say this
So I'm
game
back in
probably
here.
lost for them, but maybe Maple, his experience working with Spica as well, can help them come back in this. Or maybe Huni can just beast mode something on a side wave, definitely trying to make an effort here.
Pursuing Licorice, that's for sure. Pride Stalker is here. Licorice going back in for it.
Oh!
And you get the ultimate coming through from the Senna again. Licorice, she slams. Maple is here, though. You have to be wary of that. TSM Spica collapsing on the opposite side. Stixay also making his way into the vicinity, but Licorice eventually loses his life.
It still brought all 5 members of TSM down to the bottom lane for 1-for-1. So now Blaze Olive gets to push an entire wave in mid. Ole gets to push an entire wave in top, and that'll be a gold positive trade for Golden Guardians, taking 2 jungle camps on the way out as well.
Yeah, look how many little blue dots are on that mini-map crashing over here onto the top side. Ole being able to usher that in, so 3,000 gold.
Since I goes Dead Dancer, what does he build right now? Maybe he goes Black Cleaver, I'm not sure yet. Fiora goes for standard build, that's totally fine. Senna is building towards her Eclipse. Okay. It's just, I think it's kinda awkward to buy this item because you kinda need Eclipse into Lord Dominic's. Because otherwise you won't really have all that much damage, from my opinion.
right now and drawing so much of that
Then again, as I said, the
maybe his
Tormail is
response
bad
is to
on Mundo
continue
from my
pushing on the
personal
boss side. They
opinion,
have now
and I would like more Frozen Heart because it's a cheaper item which you would already have on Sins Out, and buying Dead Dance. Dead Dance can be an issue because they got some level of pokes, which means it can also backfire. And can you get resets? I mean, it's really hard to get resets quickly on these champions, right? And if you can't get resets quickly enough, it might be an issue. Also, they got 2 enhancers, which gonna keep the teammates alive. So it's questionable, you know.
now taken out all of the outer turrets for both of these teams.
But yeah, we can see like there is an economy diff, right? So look at the economy difference. This is fasting Senna, right? This is a Senna support. She also gains bonus gold from getting so many wards out with her item, right? And also from her passive 8 gold per goal, which means that she's gonna be ahead on the curve compared to the enemy Karma. Like, look at the item differences. Karma has like what? Boots, item, and Senna has a whole package of everything, right? So like there is this economy difference between the supports, which means a lot actually, because her shields are weak right now, her poke is weak, and Senna has a lots of damage right now. Okay. Like I guess like in a way it's fine to go for that because she's long range, and it's easier to take out wards. Then you're gonna gain a lots of gold out of taking out wards, especially because like in pro play people are warding a lot. So that's definitely a thing. Now what else can we see in here?
Over on the backside, Huni gets blasted on down in the center of it all. It didn't quite look like staying in the vicinity.
That looked to me like TSM was just stunned. They didn't expect Golden Guardians to take Baron, and then when Golden Guardians had Baron, it's almost like they didn't process it, because there's no reason they should have stuck around, and that's...
And he's getting targeted by Licorice over on the backside. Huni gets blasted on.
Yeah, like that's the economy difference. This is what I've been talking about, right? There's the thing, like Senna is so much ahead above the enemy support with levels and gold, right? And also like the Mundo also packs up a nice punch. He's definitely a decent frontliner after the durability patch and the Grievous Wounds nerfs. Even the champion got a bit nerfed, but he's okay, he's fine. Now Mundo's build is bad, both Frostfire and Tormail, from my personal opinion. Cause like, look, his Tormail, a full item, gonna cut as much healing as an Executioner does, because he has no CC. So that's that, right? Got the Liandry's Torment in here. So, Fiora is pushing the top side of the map.
And because it's a 4v5, they're getting multiple turrets right away.
They take down the mid tier 2, about to pressure over on this top side as well. Baron empowered minions helping to do that work.
I mean, not too many mistakes have been done this game. It's kinda even the score, right? But they are way more ahead of with gold because they took objectives, more CS in general, right? They are ahead to some degree.
At TSM, it felt like they were at the zoo and they were looking at the Baron exhibit.
Who? He had a greedy recall, but is it fine?
Let's go into it. Let's get the charm onto Pride Stalker, bring him into our
Yeah, it was a greedy recall, no? Like sometimes even in pro play people have some type of really greedy type of recalls that are really risky to go for. So Gnar goes for a Black Cleaver Trinity Force build. He goes for Black Cleaver to penetrate the armor of the enemy team for Yasuo and for Volibear. Yasuo already has 50% inbuilt armor reduction from his ultimate. Now they have a tanky team comp, it's definitely not bad. The only problem with that build is he gonna get shredded in no time, especially in Minignar, right?
Somewhat of a make or break game for them, because they showed such a strong trajectory in spring.
Oh damn.
Have
Garden!
aside from an AD carry change,
So I think Fiora backs off. Like a lot of people don't know why Fiora backs off right now. So he wasted his W, he wasted his ult, right? But why is Gnar even chasing if he wasted everything, right? So Fiora doesn't know where the enemy team is, and what Gnar did, it might be a bluff which would bait Fiora into trying to all-in Gnar when the teammates could be around, right? That's why like Fiora just doesn't take it. Because like there is like a mind games behind it, you know, it could be really risky. But now it's time to commit, right? Now it's time to commit, right? I think I did go backwards in time, no?
Licorice is showing just how comfortable he is on this champion, not just in the movement, but knowing how long he can stay.
I feel like even on Yasuo it's a bit bad to build anti-heal. Like the support, I think it's bad that he went for Mortar Reminder. It's really bad to delay your Infinity Edge Spike, then get the Bloodthirster, then get the Lord Dominic's, whatever you want to build. Like because we already have anti-heal on the support, and it's good for solo plays, but realistically you're gonna play with Karma that can apply to everybody the bonus anti-heal, right? I feel like on Yasuo it's bad because like I think there are other champions that could afford to build it more easily than Yasuo does. Like he's one of our carries, which generally means that you can't really afford to not push your build towards damage. But yeah, like partially the like anti-heal got nerfed, which kind of puts them in an awkward spot, you know. Like building anti-heal is bad, but they heal a lot at the same time, so I don't know, it's just so weird to build anti-heal, right? So Corki is well farmed. He does not have any kills, but he has 300 CS, which means that has 3 items, right? So in here, Fiora is staying around mid lane. Is he committing? Nope. Now we secure the Drake, is the third Drake. At this point they are at soul point after securing the third Drake. Also it provides 4% healing. It's a kind of a lot, 4% missing HP healing. Which means that they have lots of HP, which means that it's gonna generally serve them really well. And when they get the turned one, they're gonna have 6%, which is really high, plus the soul. So if they secure the soul, it's pretty much GG. With this team comp, I feel like it's a GG if they secure the soul. Because then the healing gonna be really insane. And I don't feel like they can ever match it with their own executioners and with their own like mortar reminders.
Playing a side lane a lot of the times on Mundo, just keeping the waves pushed and then having these timings to group. So the advantage of TSM's team, which would be like, hey, group up around Seraphine and Carmen, run at them, that opportunity hasn't presented itself with TSM.
Which is why most of the impact we've seen from Maple is just in clearing those waves before, as opposed to where you want this maple tree? I don't know. Where you want Maple to pop off on this Yasuo is what I was going for.
He's got an Infinity Edge now, so he definitely has enough damage to actually make an impact in a team fight. But, so, just not...
Yeah, as I said, like Mundo brought Randuin's, definitely correct. Like I think Tormail would be like something I skip, then I get like what, but then again everybody gonna focus Mundo, which means he gonna still apply to most of them the anti-heal effect. The 25%, but we already got Senna with Executioner. I feel like it's just bad. Because then you would be able to get like Randuins into Force of Nature, and then that just makes you really insane as a champion, right? And you could build like another armor item, which is totally fine. Because like I feel like as much mobility as Mundo has, they have some AP champions like a Volibear, right? But they have skill shots, and most of those skill shots are sidesteppable with his ult, right? So going in more, it's not so concerning. That's my opinion, right? Because also, even if they lock down Mundo, he does not get locked down because of his passive, right? But I don't know how to feel about like Spellbook. Like, what's the thought process behind Spellbook? Because I actually don't really get it. Why did he go for Spellbook over like Conqueror or Lethal Tempo? I just don't know how to feel about this. Because yes, you're gonna get a summoner spell, but I don't feel like it's ever gonna be more valuable than Lethal Tempo or either Conqueror from my personal opinion. Um, since already has his Dead Dance, he's playing for resets then. So he has to pick his fights really wisely. Okay. We are running in the 90s. And now they're trying to secure Drake. Let's see how the team fight goes out. Now one thing I don't like that they're stacking on top of each other. They should be a bit more dispositions. Apparently they are positioning right now. Oh, Pride Stalker. I don't know if you wanna get that word out, do you? Okay. So they're trying to commit. Okay. Okay, we are fighting. Yeah, I mean they are just outscaling the enemy team, honestly, right? They are just kind of start checking the enemy team, because sure, like they are probably outplaying them in some degree, but like how is Karma level 9 and Mundo is 16? Wait, what? Did I see it correctly? What? No way. She's level 9, but I think she allowed the carries to get more XP, I guess, but ironically enough, the other laners are not actually way above. Some of them are even under the level. I actually don't know how did Karma get so low on XP that she's level 9. Like, yeah, I feel like after this game maybe Riot gonna consider buffing Oblivion or anti-heal in general. I just feel like it's, I don't know, like this is how stat checky things can get, and if they get Soul it's pretty much GG, because they are already stat checking the enemy team, and if they get Baron and Soul it's just most likely GG. And Soul is coming in how much? In like few minutes. So as a better scaling team comp, they are already pretty much outscaling, and if they get Soul, well, don't know what can we do actually. Yeah, that was a really good package there, right? But I feel like the enemy team draft is bad, right? Like the drafting does, like, I'm not sure how did they draft, but it just feels to be bad against this team comp, right? Yeah, he got juked, but it's fine because Fiora picks up the kill. And now they're waiting for Soul, and the problem is it's 10-4. They are ahead with more than 10k gold, so it's really difficult to contest it, but at the same time if they're not contesting it, then they are in an awkward spot. And also it's really smart this time, it's really smart from the enemy team to not push out the wave, because for Gnar then it's harder to get Mega Gnar. Then again, killing the monsters, the jungle monsters, is really bad. I guess he has a wolf to stack up his fury, but I feel like he kills it before he gets his fury. So the problem is the waves aren't shoved in, which means Gnar has no Mega Gnar. So if Gnar has no Mega Gnar, there's nothing, there's not much we can do. Like we can hope Seraphine maybe hits some pokes, right? But it's really hard to hit those slow abilities, right? And then the problem is Corki is chipping at the same time, so I think like positioning in here is generally bad, because as I said, Gnar is not here and he has no Mega Gnar, so and they're already ahead with 11k gold, so forcing or sitting around is a bit bad. I mean, it's just really hard to contest it, but if they don't contest it, GG, so it's like so awkward. Yeah, it's just so awkward, right? Like now Volibear has to smite it. If he can't smite it, it's just GG. Oh, hold up. But the Drake is almost full HP, and we have clear vision on it that it's almost full HP, no? I think he's dead, no? Focus the Volibear, no? Because now he has to ult out and then he can't come back, no? Because the guy has no flash as well, so... Yeah, like that was such an early blast cone. I think he panicked or something. There's like no reason for you to blast cone, no? Oh, but Sinzao shouldn't. So I think Sinzao like coin flip there, or what happened? No. So it's a thing that the problem is our team comp is here, their comp is here, so it's easier for them to collapse on us, right? And also, like, we need to secure this. I don't even care about the kill. Fiora can probably queue back. Probably get out of the situation. What you care about right now is securing Drake for 100%, because if you die, they may steal it in some way, because it's about you having the smite, right? And here's the thing, if you get the Drake, it's just GG. Like, there is no comeback, actually. So can we secure this? Okay, it's fine. So they secured it, but it was really bad from Sinzal's part. Because now we can visually see, as I said, they just outscaled the enemy team. They actually just outscaled the enemy team. Because like they can't match. And the healing comes up so quickly as well, it's unreal. So as I said, they have 6% healing per 5 minutes, right? And also they have the healing effect from the Drake as well, and it also gives mana, right? And now it's GG, because they are just outscaling the enemy team, which they already did before, but now even harder. Now it's 100%. This Mundo pick was really interesting, by the way. It feels to be really good into the enemy comp in general. His itemization was a bit bad, but in general it was fine. Like, he played really well. He's 206. Definitely well played from his part. Everybody played well on the Licorice team, but there is like the draft diff as well, right? That's how I see it.